This calories in, calories out model doesn't work at all.
Everything you thought you knew about losing weight might actually be wrong. Today, weight loss expert Dr. Fung is exposing the 5 biggest lies you've been told about weight loss and what really works instead.
Every continent is seeing this increase in obesity, but we put the blame on the individual. The problem is there's something wrong with the message we're giving people, and I can go over a few examples. First of all, exercise is really good in a number of ways, but in terms of weight loss, it's actually a very, very small effect.
Spoiler, it's not just about eating less and moving more. Let's dive in. Lie number 1. You just need to eat less and move more.
So I did my training in nephrology, which is kidney disease. So I'm a kidney disease specialist. And I thought about weight loss sort of very conventionally. It's sort of calories in, calories out, just watch what you eat sort of thing. And that's what's taught to all doctors, is that it's extremely unhelpful for people. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work for patients, and it doesn't work for doctors even, right? So doctors who want to lose weight, they don't use calories in, calories out because it doesn't really work. And we all know this. Every person has sort of counted their calories, and almost all of them fail to succeed.
For decades, we've been told weight loss is simple math. Burn more calories than you eat. But obesity isn't just a math problem. It's a hormonal one.
The problem is not that people didn't realize that they had to eat fewer calories or increase their calorie expenditure. The problem was, why were they eating more calories than they could expend, right? And it's because the body is being told to store energy, right? That's the way it is. That's why you're taking in more calories, or you're storing more calories, is because your body has hormones that tell you to store calories.
One of those hormones is insulin, and it controls fat storage. And if they're out of whack, no amount of exercise will fix it. One problem with exercise is that it tends to make you eat more, as it increases your post-exercise appetite.
Why can't you burn the fat that's on your body? Because there's 200, 300,000 calories of body fat. Why can't you access it? It's because you haven't activated the right hormones so that you can access it. There's a hormone called insulin, for example, and if you give people insulin, so inject them with insulin, which is a drug for type 2 diabetes, almost everybody gains weight. So if you give somebody insulin, they gain weight. If I gave you insulin, you would gain weight. It has nothing to do with your willpower, for example. If I gave you insulin, you would gain weight. Why? Because I'm giving your body the instructions to store energy.
Also, when you eat fewer calories, your body will also burn less calories.
So we see this in almost every single study. We've known about it for like 80 years at least. You eat fewer calories, your body burns fewer calories. Well, that's going to limit how much weight you're going to lose, right? So this idea that just eat fewer calories will automatically lead to weight loss is completely false, because we know that eating fewer calories leads also to burning fewer calories. So you eat 500 less, your body burns 500 less, and you're not losing any body weight.
Lie number 2. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You've heard it a million times. Never skip breakfast. But guess what? That slogan was pushed by cereal companies.
And meanwhile, our kids, they're at lunch, they're getting orange juice for breakfast. These are all meals, school meals that are driven by the dietary guideline policy. We are setting up our children for failure.
Skipping breakfast, like in intermittent fasting, can actually help control insulin and aid fat loss.
Yeah, the whole idea that you need to eat as soon as you get up is just false. So there's this whole thing about breakfast. Now, you will always break your fast. Think about the actual word, right? Break fast. It's the meal that breaks your fast, which tells you that in the English language, we accept that your body should have a fasting period every day. Why? There's a period of time that you're supposed to feed, you eat, insulin goes up, you store calories. Then there's supposed to be a period of time that you fast. That's after dinner until the next day's meal, which is breakfast, right? So you say you stop eating at 6 p.m., you eat at 8 a.m. That's a 14-hour period where your body is not eating, it's fasting, and therefore it's going to use calories, right?
Lie number 3. Fasting is dangerous and starves the body.
People thought it was extremely bad for you. And I looked through all the literature and I said, well, why is it bad for you? And they had all these reasons. There's all these myths about intermittent fasting and how it's going to cause you to gain weight and be tired and hungry and all these sorts of things. I said, well, no, there's actually a lot of data here over the last, 2,000 years that we've used intermittent fasting, and they're simply not true.
Fasting isn't starvation. It's a powerful tool your body evolved to ensure survival.
One of the things people talked about was, it's going to make you eat more later. It's going to make you more hungry. Your basal metabolic rate's going to go down. This was one of the big myths of intermittent fasting. That's going to cause the so-called starvation mode, right? And this is the idea that your basal metabolic rate will fall so low that when you do start to eat, you're going to gain weight again. So I said, well, let's think about this. You can do a study where you take somebody, say you, for example, and you could fast them for 4 days. And measure how many calories they're burning, their basal metabolic rate on day 0 before the fast, and measure them 4 days into the fast and see how many calories you're burning. So on day 0, they say you're burning, say, 2,000 calories a day. On day 4 of 0 food, you don't eat any food for 4 days, they measure how much calories you're burning. Your body is burning 2,200 calories. Your basal metabolic rate didn't go down, it went up.
During fasting, your body switches to burning stored fat for fuel. Exactly what you want if you're trying to lose weight. Lie number 4. You need to eat 6 small meals a day to boost metabolism. Another myth. Constant eating keeps your metabolism burning. Wrong.
If you're trying to lose weight, you still got to focus on the main topic, which is the foods that you eat, which is not just the calories. It's about the types of food that you eat, which is going to affect the hormonal balance, and also how often you eat. If you're eating all the time versus if you're only eating very infrequently, then you're going to have a different hormonal balance that is going to affect your weight as well.
Frequent eating actually keeps insulin levels high, preventing fat burning. Your body needs periods of low insulin to tap into fat stores.
Let's think about this very simply, okay? So if you eat, your insulin's going to go up, your body's going to store calories because you told it to. If you don't eat or if you fast, your body your insulin's going to go down, you're going to bring those calories back out of storage, right? So you're going to burn calories. You eat, you store calories. You don't eat, you burn calories. Very simple. So why would you want to eat all the time? That makes no sense at all. If you want to lose body fat, you actually need to extend the period of time that you're not eating. In other words, extend your fasting period and get rid of all the snacks in order for you to have enough time that your insulin is low. When insulin is low, it's going to allow fat burning.
An American survey of more than 60,000 adults and children revealed that in 1977, most people ate 3 times a day. By 2003, most people were eating 5 to 6 times a day.
In 1977, we told people eat lots of carbs, okay? So we know that, that's in print. For sure, the American government said eat 55 to 60% carbs, eat less fat. What happened is that, in 1977, people ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No snacks. If you wanted an after-school snack, your mom said, no, you're gonna ruin your dinner. If you wanted a bedtime snack, your mom would say, no, you should have ate more at dinner, right? No problem. But what happened is that as we started to eat sort of a lot of carbs, what happened is exactly as what we discussed before. You eat 2 slices of bread in the morning with jam. You have no satiety, insulin spikes way up, glucose spikes way up, but then it crashes.
So you get hungry again.
Then you get hungry at 10:30. So you go around looking for a low-fat muffin.
Lie number 5, weight loss drugs are a permanent fix. There's a lot of hype about new fat-melting drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro. They work extremely well for a while by affecting our hunger and satiety hormone levels.
The Ozempic doesn't burn any calories. It's about controlling your hunger. It's about that one level deeper. Why are you taking so many calories? So if you simply reduce the hunger, you're going to naturally eat fewer calories, which is going to cause weight loss. And that's what this Ozempic does. It really reduces your appetite to very low levels.
But here's the reality. These drugs can have serious side effects and often only treat the symptoms, not the root cause.
Every successful drug to gain or lose weight, right, is a hormone. It's a hormone base because that's instructions to the body. Food is energy and food is instructions. You change the instructions and you change the hormone.
After losing weight with these drugs, people tend to gain lots of the weight back because they get hungry again. Very often, people eat their emotions, and unless they fix their emotional root cause for eating, there is a high risk of gaining back all of the dropped body weight through emotional eating. Long-term sustainable weight loss happens by fixing metabolic health, not popping a pill or taking an injection. So what does work? Quick recap. Stop obsessing over calories. Ditch the breakfast myth. Embrace fasting. Skip constant snacking. And be skeptical of magic pills and injections. Your body was designed to thrive. Learn from Dr. Fung how to reverse type 2 diabetes, and let's get healthy together.